Okay, we've got the latest episode of Lower Deck, Season 4, Episode 5, Empathological Fallacies. Now, this is an episode that is mostly about Talin, who is the Vulcan exchange officer on the, not the Enterprise, on the Cerritos. And she's actually played by Gabrielle Ruiz, who I first discovered in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend as the new girlfriend that the Crazy Ex-Girlfriend Rachel or Rebecca was competing with. But I quite like Gabrielle Ruiz as an actress. I think she's got hidden depths. She can play kind of a like, obviously she's playing a Vulcan here, so that's completely different, and it actually really shows her range. But like on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, she played kind of at first like a ditzy, shallow kind of a character, but as the show went on, we got to see more of her character, and instead of just seeing her as an opponent, we humanize her as like her own person. I highly recommend people watch Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. It's a great show about mental health and feminism, and it's a musical. But yeah, Gabrielle Ruiz is in here. She plays Talin, who is a Vulcan exchange officer who's here basically against her will because she acted on instinct instead of pure logic, like last season on a Vulcan starship. And even though she saved the day, her captain punished her for acting on instinct and not pure logic by sending her to a Starfleet ship. And she really wants to get off there. And the whole episode is her having to deal with a highly chaotic and emotional crew, which seems to be further heightened when a trio of Betazoid diplomats come on. Now, if you've watched Star Trek as long as I have, you know the most famous Betazoid diplomat of them all is Lwaxana Troi, Deanna Troi's mother, played by the mother of Star Trek herself, Majel Barrett. And she was always a very raucous and rambunctious kind of a character. And this basically treats it as three Lwaxana Trois coming onto the starship. And it basically, everybody starts treating it as like a party because they're here to keep the good times rolling because they came from like a party on this one planet. And they're going to Risa, which is, Space Vegas. So they're, looking to keep it going on the ship in the meantime because they're diplomats. They get to have that kind of a pull. But the partying seems to get like so much. People are kind of like partying too hard. And there was an episode of The Next Generation where Lwaxana is basically going through Betazoid menopause. And I think it's called Xanthi Fever. And because Betazoids are psychic, she was actually projecting her heightened emotions onto other people on the crew. And because everyone's acting erratically, they assume, okay, it must be the Betazoids. Which, that assumption causes a whole series of misadventures, and we actually find out at the end, and spoilers, but it's actually Talin. Vulcans are psychic too. And Talin's desire to leave the ship and the frustration that she can't send her message to her old crew because they are on communications lockdown during the transit. That frustration alone is enough for her psychic, emotionally heightened states to wreak havoc along the crew. And the episode is actually about having reasonable and mature responses to dealing with emotional turmoil. Mariner is actually the one who talks Talin through it, and I actually quite like the friendship they're building up between Mariner and Talin. I really hope Talin is being introduced here as like the fifth main character. I quite like her this season as they've been having her mix with the crew. She's got quite a lot of good snide remarks here and there. I like Vulcans. I like Vulcans when they're written well. I don't mind having the one-off Vulcan who's an asshole, kind of a villain for the episode, but the very first Vulcan we all met was Spock, who exuded warmth even as he acted like he had no emotions. Of course he had emotions. All Vulcans have emotions. They just suppress them because they're violent and dangerous. But yeah, no, I quite like this episode. And even though it references like two other episodes where aliens are having age-related emotional psychic trauma that they're inflicting on the crew. Like I said, a lot of Lower Decks is really reliant on people who recognize things from other stories because it's lots of references. The heart of the episode is a very core, like, emotional journey for Talin. as we're getting to know her more as a character. And I quite like it for that. And I look forward to seeing more of it. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm trying to get my channel monetized, so your view means a lot. Don't forget to toss me a like and subscribe and ring the bell. I stream every Monday and Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, so catch me live and join in on the convo. You can find all my socials in the description below, and thank you to all my patrons with a very special shout out to my Whale Shark tier patron Ryan D and my Anemone friend tier patron Piftle Cakes. Your support means the world. Catch you next time.